Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Pink Riot Comic Show, where two Black women talk all things comics, pop culture, movies, what have you. I am here in the Pink Riot Lair. My name is Keisha, aka High Havoc, and I'm here with my awesomely, brilliantly talented co-host Bree. How you doing, babe?
I'm doing so good. Today has been a crazy day at work, but there's something sweet about having a situation that comes up where it's all worth it. I had one of those today. So, you kind of have like a little more pep in your step when you feel like, oh man, this, stuff I'm doing every day is making a difference. So I had one of those today.
Aw,
Yeah. It's
that's
like
so awesome.
it really and truly is, because like you don't always that it's there, but you don't always get the direct feedback. So when that happens, it's like I'm gonna be riding that high for a hot little minute. Sometimes you need that little boost.
No,
um
we need that because jobs is wilding these days. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. How are you? How's your week going?
This week was, I think this is week 2 of feeling and being productive. Really excited.
Period.
Today, worked out, got the dog right. Like, my guts aren't like killing me. I'm getting mentally, physically prepared for San Diego. Like,
All of the pause.
right. I'm in the zone. So super
My
excited.
Okay. Girl, what? Okay. That's awesome. I love that for you. I've been seeing how like you can tell the balance because the way you like are showing up in other spaces. Y'all, Keisha has been very much, if booked and busy was a person, I've been loving to see like her academic curiosity and teacher mode popping up a lot more in different spaces. And it's a beautiful thing to see. That's like that curiosity and determination from her are some of
Aw,
like they're both things that I value tremendously in her as a human person. And then like it's always there, but then you see it flourishing in other arenas, and you're literally just like, go girl, two for you, Glen Coco, you go Glen Coco. So I love to see it.
thank
Genuinely love to see it.
you. Yeah, it's been really good. I'm like, the more this happens, I'm really like, dang, I was depressed
No,
before.
and that's okay.
Yeah, but it's all
Things
good,
like that.
But,
How
like,
beautiful is it to be able to, like, reflect from the other side, you know what I mean?
yeah, right?
Yeah,
To make it
mhm,
to the other side is big,
that part,
That's
because everybody
big,
don't get to do that. For real,
and
for real.
right, and to make it to the other side and then see, like, how great we're doing still, like, we hit over 1,000 followers on Instagram. Our community strong.
Blah, blah. Okay, sorry, that was a lot, but that's what it feels like. Y'all,
Yeah,
we're,
this has
like,
been
trying to
great.
do our Thug Thistle and switch the things up, so it really means a lot for, other people to notice it and to, like, get to the other side of goals and then come up with what the next ones are, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. And we definitely had our, like, little gift dance break in the group chat when we seen that, we
Yes.
had reached that goal. So yeah, all of the vibes. Shout out to y'all for really being the driving point of that,
Right.
because we always ramble off the like, share, follow, comment, subscribe, all that, whatever. But y'all are actually doing it. Like
Right.
we can see the difference in how far our content goes when we have more people reposting and sharing everything. So it may seem like a small thing or
But
like
it's
a
so
throwaway,
big.
but it's so
Yeah,
huge. We appreciate it every time y'all show up for us like that.
absolutely. And everybody's in the chat. How
Yeah, what's up?
y'all doing? Jenna, what's up?
Hey Jenna,
Oh,
happy Thursday. Yes, the show can officially start.
right. Welcome, podcastresses.
Yes.
LT, how are you doing?
TLC in the house. You got jokes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. I see it.
That's all right. I will take it because icons. Just make sure you put some dates around that, like OG TLC in the house, because this new TLC is wilding these days.
Mm.
Hey, Brayburn. What up? What up?
Hey, love. Raven. How are you doing, babe?
Hello. Hello. We are overdue for a key, Raven. Miss your face. LT says, y'all been killing the game. The ads are popping. The colors are vibrant. The style is styling. you, you
That's what we
better,
do.
you better
It's
get
what
yes,
we
us up.
do.
Period. It feels good. All of the things. Brayburn said, yeah, we did. Reaching those milestones.
We did. And now they
Ooh.
talking about tagging folks in the chat.
Yeah. Y'all, I love how it's like we're gonna get the cute stuff out the way, then we're about to go off the rails.
Yep. All
Love it.
right. So we have a great special guest in the lair.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. Um, so I learned about this creator through like one of the ads. Like these ads for this comic was just popping up on my feed, and I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I need to check on this and figure out what this is. And the art floored
100%.
me. The
Yeah.
art is amazing. It's just amazing.
Art is amazing, and this is a prime example of someone who knows what they're doing in terms of how to put on a proper Kickstarter, how
Mm,
to advertise and build hype leading up to the launch instead of just throwing it out there and expecting people to find it through osmosis. How to like give the people the drama and the entertainment before they even know what the story is about for real. Like when I
because I
tell
didn't know a
you
single thing when I backed that Kickstarter.
my little variant heart, my variant loving heart was like, hey, yo, every time I hopped on the app, I was seeing a different variant that was like an homage or a callback to some other pop cultural moment that I could easily recognize. And they tied it in so well. And you heard it. It was going around. It made the round. So,
The
prime
music
example of
references,
how you're supposed to do
chef's
that.
kit. Just to let y'all know, like if you do know about dark pink, because that's what we're talking about. The
Yes.
variant covers are gorgeous. We have this Sade reference, right? We have, hold on. My favorite is the Prince reference. Just because of these two variants, I had to get, like, I got 3 copies of the same book, which is not
Period.
something I typically get. Y'all know me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cover A person only.
Mm-hmm. But when the variants hit like that, you can't help but do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It was great. So we gonna welcome to the stage. Hold on. I gotta time this right. You go ahead and get get the introduction, and I got the buttons to press. Go ahead.
Okay. Welcome to the stage. We have the creator of Dark Pink, Christopher. Come on out here, man.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yes.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you two doing?
We
We're
are
living
doing
good. We're
wonderful.
grateful that you're here, man. I need y'all to
Yes.
know that when he came into the backstage area, okay, the way that my FOMO just turned everything, every other part of my brain off, and I immediately started gagging over the storm figure that's behind him.
What's this right here?
I was like, what do you
Yeah.
mean?
Bree snapped, she threatened somebody's grandmother. It was a whole
I
thing.
literally was like, y'all, I literally told him, I was like, the way that I am fully prepared to light someone's grandmother on fire for that figure behind you, like
Just
actually, like
violent.
full on peak villain behavior. And what's crazy is the figure that he actually has is rarer, however you say
More
this,
rare. Yeah.
more rare than the one that I
Yeah.
actually thought it was. So I have to hear from you because he started explaining it and I was like, hold on, all the pause. We got to hear this on the show so that people know. See, other people in the chat are also gagging because it's very peak. But we have to hear about the figures because that's just the first one that caught my eye. But you have to give us like a quick little shelf tour.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Yeah, this is a Storm statue. It's from a company called XM Studios. They're based in Singapore, and it is a very rare, hard to get statue because they don't have the license to do Marvel characters to produce them and sell them in the United States. So they only sell them in Asia.
Yeah.
And so I was in a Facebook group and I saw it, and there was a guy that's like, "Oh, well, I can ship it to you from over here."
Wow.
Now the shipping costs almost as much as the statue, but it was worth it. I've had it for like 5 or 6 years. It's beautiful. It actually can switch poses. You can switch your hands. There's another head, all kind of crazy stuff. But I mean, I love the white suit Storm. That's my favorite Storm. Looks great. It has crazy presence. I have a few other statues, but that's one of my favorites. I mean, I love Storm anyway. It looks great. It's super rare. It's a nice talking piece. So yeah, I got that, and then I have a really old Doctor Doom over here from Sideshow, an American company. And then up top, if you could see, I got a Miles Morales, also from Sideshow. I took the mask off so you can see Miles's face, and then I have a Thanos sitting on his throne about to do the snap. So
I love that.
So yeah, that's. I have a few others on the side, but I can't turn my computer over there. But those are like my main ones that I sit on the other side here at my desk and just look over at. So yeah, I make comics, but I'll read comics. I'm a big comic book nerd. It's part of me, and just being able to actually create one of my own was always like a dream I had, and I'm just so happy that I was able to make it happen and that people are actually responding pretty well to it, and I can keep it going. So yeah, this is just kind of like the beginning for me.
Period. Okay, so we fangirled a little bit, but we can segue into our core questions because that is one question that we like to ask all of our guests who come visit us here in the Pink Riot Lair, and that is, what is your comic book origin story? So, like, what got you into reading and enjoying comics, and then what got you into creating comics?
Actually, the original, well, the Batman the Animated Series and the original X-Men Saturday morning cartoon were the first things that kind of introduced me to comic book characters. And then once I, started watching those shows, because I was a big, I was an 80s baby and grew up in the 80s and the 90s. So Saturday morning cartoons, but I started out as like a G.I. Joe and a Transformers person. Like, I love some Transformers. So I started out with that, but then I kind of moved over more into comics. Like once I saw the Batman animated series and the X-Men series. And it was just like seeing like Storm, for example, as like a Black representation of a superhero. Like I kind of knew a little bit about it just from osmosis, you just kind of pick that stuff up, but to actually see her like at the beginning, like I didn't even know she was African. Like I saw her and I was like, oh, okay, there's a Black woman, that's cool. But then when I started watching the show and saw that she had an African accent, I was like, oh, that's even cooler and more unique because, at that time in the 80s and 90s, the representation for like Black characters basically in anything, let alone like comics and stuff like that, was rare. To start. So you kind of had to kind of pick up your bits and pieces. And, where I lived, like we didn't have a comic book shop anywhere like near me. So I didn't actually start going to comic book shops until I was in college. Because at my college in Austin, there was a comic book shop like not that far away. So that's when I started to actually really get into reading it and moving from just like being a fan of like the X-Men and like kind of knowing who Black Panther and like Luke Cage were into like an actual avid reader. And
what was your first comic that you picked up in college?
The first one I picked up was, well, it was an X-Men. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you got to go with what you know.
Exactly.
I picked up a couple of X-Men. I didn't like know like how things work, like getting yeah, you know, you can pull comics and doing all that kind of stuff. Like I just walked in there, I was like, oh, let me go look at the X-Men section, and whichever covers look the coolest, I'll just get those. And that's kind of just how I started, because I didn't know like the artists, the writers, any of that stuff. I was just really like, let me just kind of ease my way into it. And I also bought like a Superman issue. Like the Death of Superman actually was probably the first comic book I actually read, but it wasn't my copy. Like I got it from someone else when I was a little younger before that. And that really stuck with me because when they first announced that they were going to do it, that was something that I was able to hear about because it was such a big deal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and then like reading it, and I was like a little emotional kid, so it made me sad. Like it really did, and it was just like a very like a touching story, because in the Death of Superman, it's basically Superman fighting Doomsday until he literally can't anymore. Like he literally just runs out of energy and stamina, and that's the reason he falls. But he was fighting him for days, trying to protect Metropolis, and falls at the very, very end just because Doomsday had an unlimited motor. Like he just wouldn't stop. And it was like a really heroic thing and a very sad thing, and like something like emotional that I didn't even know like comic books would do that kind of stuff. So that stuck with me. And then just transitioning to like trying to see more people of color like in comics. And that's actually one of the reasons why I set Dark Pink in the 80s, is because I would have loved to have seen something like Dark Pink when I was a kid. Like, so I'm kind of like replaying a bit of my childhood, putting something out there that would have resonated with a younger version of me to see, like on a bookshelf.
Nice.
I love that. Yo, the music that you have, like,
Yeah.
for those who are listening to the podcast, like Dark Pink opens up with Sade, Smooth Operator. And let me tell you, I immediately was like, oh, pause. I put the song on, literally had the song playing in the background as I'm reading it. And I'm like, it just sets the mood. And I love when stories do that. It makes it more immersive. It makes it, you can get into it more. I absolutely loved that choice that you made. Every single song that's like referenced in this book, perfection, my guy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's that was something very, very important to me, like to try to incorporate music into the comic. I thought that would be like a unique thing to do. And it's also just something that I, enjoy. Like Sade is my favorite singer. So one of the very first things I decided when I thought about, even before I even started working on it, I had the thought 20 years ago to work on this. But I couldn't draw, and at that time I didn't know anybody that could draw, so it was just like kind of a pipe dream. But I walked into my comic book shop to get my pull for that month, and I saw Daughters of the Dragon #2. And Misty Knight and Colleen Wing were on the cover. Like I didn't even know who Misty Knight was at this point, but the cover of #2 in 2006, it has like Misty standing in the background, like with her fist up, and Colleen is like on, in a b-boy stance with a powder blue Adidas sweatsuit on and a cane. Standing over somebody that Misty just knocked out. I was like, what is this? Like I'd never seen like a Black person and hip hop culture like melded into a comic book like that. And I was like, I gotta do something like that. And as a comic book fan and also like a music fan, like I was like, okay, I want to put some music in there, and I gotta have like Shot is my favorite singer, so I gotta do this cover. That's gonna be a cover no matter what, and if it takes 30 years or whatever,
Yeah.
I gotta do the Love Deluxe. It's a classic. I was like, I gotta do it with my character and have that. And then the Purple Rain cover with Prince. Prince is like my other favorite, like my favorite male singer. And I was like, I gotta get these guys, you know, I gotta get my people, you know, into my project. And you know, I don't know if you guys remember the show New York Undercover.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
hugely underrated, one of the best shows to me ever. Like I love that show. I even like the last season when Tommy came and was the boss and stuff like that. But you know how every episode started with like they're setting the case that they're gonna do, and it's like basically a music video. They set it to music, like no dialogue, just the action with some music. And I was like, I'm gonna do that for the comic book. So that's why it starts. It has the cold open with him finding his next victim to Smooth Operator, and I'm starting the work on the second issue, and it's going to have the same thing. It's going to start with a song, and like setting the case up. And it may or may not be based on an artist that just had a biopic come out, and their spooky song that would probably fit in the show. It may or may not have anything to do with that.
Say less. I know you're about to cut up with those variants too. Just my gosh.
Yeah.
Before we start talking about issue 2, we have to talk about the fact that we had a whole Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song like redone for this comic. That was so very peak, and it was like the perfect amount of like nostalgia to make you just be like, oh yeah, they ate this up. Please tell us about what that was like. Was that something that you were like, oh, I have to have this in there, and we worked it around it, or it just happened to work out that way? Give us the steps of how you got to that.
Yeah, that was another one of those things. Like I wanted to try to incorporate like some way somehow, because I kind of like describe the series as this like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Stranger Things meets Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So because it's kind of like she's kind of fish out of water and has like all the musical and the hip hop elements, so it kind of fits into what we're doing. So I was like, how do I incorporate that into this? Because when I started it, I wasn't sure if this was going to be successful or not. So I'm like, I'm putting in everything that I want to put into this one, just in case so they don't let me make another one. So
I know that's right.
Hey, you
so
make the comic for you.
Yeah, that's why I did the Sade and the Prince, and I was like, I gotta get this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I can just do like a short story, be like the intro for the show. And Danny Perez, he's a young artist from LA. Like he's like 20 years old, like super young, very talented guy. He hadn't even seen the show. And I was like, go watch the YouTube video and we're gonna do it. We're gonna knock this thing on out. And he did a wonderful job. I was glad that I was able to kind of do the writing. It kind of fits in because it's like like I said, a fish out of water story. And I thought it would work well. And then to see it like when I wrote it and then having Danny actually to knock it out, like I thought it came out perfectly. Like the cover is one of my favorite visuals from the entire project. I just love, I just think it looks great. I love the Jordans she's wearing, like the seat, the graffiti. Like I got to pick out like what to put in the background graffiti. So there's a couple Easter eggs, a couple like personal things. So yeah, it was just one of those things that, like I said, I wanted to put in everything that I could think of, anything that I thought people could connect with, and that they would enjoy. Hopefully they would enjoy as much as I.
That's dope. And I like how you keep saying it's a fish out of water story, because it definitely is. For those that don't know, Dark Pink, we're talking about this British woman who is in New Orleans, and she's like a beginner detective. You can see her like reading Detective for Dummies in the beginning, and she is on her first case. And like that first issue is her solving that first case and dealing with, what's happening. And so like my question for you is how did you come up with this fish in the water story? What made you say, let's put this Black woman in the 1980s, this British Black woman in New Orleans?
Like I said, like I wanted to do, once I saw that Daughters of the Dragon and I saw Misty Knight for the first time, I fell in love with her. She's just right below Storm as my favorite female comic book character because she's so cool. She's strong, she's smart, she's dynamic. Like the metallic arm is cool. Like I love characters with metallic arms. I love her, Bucky, Cable. All of that just is an aesthetic that I personally like for whatever reason. So I wanted to kind of do something similar to Misty, but I needed to kind of like throw in some curveballs, make it my own type of thing. So I grew up, my dad, he was a huge James Bond fan. So we would watch James Bond movies all the time. So British culture was a very unique and interesting thing to me. And so I was like, okay, I can make her British. I think that'll be cool. We can have some fun with the dialogue. It'll make her kind of stand out a little bit. I said it in the 80s because, like I said, I wanted to create something that could have come out in the 80s and represented us like at that time. Because like the 80s and up to like the early 90s, it was a dearth of like Black comic book characters. They kind of like Marvel peaked in the 70s with their creation of like new Black characters. And then they didn't do anything basically until Miles Morales came out, So I wanted to have like, do my kind of part to like pretend fill in the gap. And I think the 80s is a unique time. A lot of comics are set in like modern day New York or fake modern day New York or in a cyberpunk future or a dystopian future. So I was like, well, let's do something in the 80s in New Orleans. And New Orleans has like such a interesting history, its connection to mysticism, to the occult, the culture, Creole, the food, the music, the style. It's a place where, at least in a comic book world, if someone says to another person, yo, I just saw a vampire, that person would be just as likely to say, I did too, as they would say, no way. Yeah. So I thought that would be a place where monsters can be there without like being it having to be such a like a standout thing, just grounded in reality, even though it's vampires and stuff, but to make it a little more realistic in that type of situation. And setting in the 80s also gives you the chance to have it where information isn't as widely spread. Like someone can't just their cell phone and record that werewolf running down the street.
Yes.
Someone goes to a detective and says this stuff, and then that person has to like be open to believing it and investigating it and looking into it. And so I just thought it would be something. Put all those together, something that is a unique like kind of setting and a setup for a comic book.
Absolutely. Jana said, love the footnote said in the most British of accents. I literally laughed out loud because I read it just normally and then switched it up how I read it in my head after I read that. And I was like, if that was intentional, that was absolutely perfect and hilarious because why don't more people do that? That was funny to me.
Yeah. I like when writers add those kind of like extra little notes and stuff, into their books. It gives it a little more personality. It shows that they're thinking about the reader. I just wanted it to be something that's fun. and interesting, and you can look at it and you're like, oh, okay, like he gets it. So like I'm trying to build something, build a world, build a character that people can relate to and they can rock out with.
That is super dope. Okay, so, and forgive me because I am absolutely horrible with names, but Dara's I'm not gonna friend, the guy who is working with her, right? Like,
Yes, Trey.
what Trey, sorry, but like, so like, what was the inspiration behind his character? Like, how did you come to the decision to create this, not necessarily sidekick, but like this person, this guardian, in a way for her?
Well, Trey is technically Dara's intern.
Yeah.
He's also young as well. He just graduated from college. They're both like 21, 22 years old. Bringing it back to James Bond, and he's basically the Q to her James Bond. Like he's the tech guy. The more like, hey, maybe don't go do this thing because it might be dumb or you might get killed type of thing.
Yes.
Kind of the person kind of keep her grounded.
Common sense.
Yeah. And because you got to have that balance. Creating a character, she has to be bold. She has to do like things that people will consider like dangerous or dumb or whatever.
Yeah.
And I hate when characters like do that and there's like no one's like mentioning how kind of ridiculous this is.
Yeah, there's no checks and balances around there.
Yeah, yeah. So he's there to be like, hey, like go ahead, I guess, but this is not a really good idea. So it was like I wouldn't do it, but you're technically my boss, so like I'm gonna ride out with you, but you did got to have like a voice of reason, also like a little bit of comic relief. I kind of modeled him after Dwayne Wayne from A Different World.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite shows and one of my favorite characters, like, and she has like a little bit of Whitley Gilbert in her as well, so like their relationship in a lot of ways is kind of similar to Dwayne and Whitley's relationship on A Different World, except for like they're fighting monsters.
Yes. Yeah, that was definitely showcased really well when she was planning to go in undercover to try to find out as much as she could about the sister and their little back and forth. That was hilarious. I'm like, okay, I hope that nothing happens to him because he's hilarious and he's the only one that's gonna like speak to her about like the common sense aspect of what she's doing. I also thought that was really cool that you gave us a different spin on the like parents missing as the motivation as to why she's doing what she's doing and even deciding to be, jumping into detective work or whatever. So, yeah, there's lots of moving pieces, but they all work together really well. And the relationships that you displayed while she's doing all of this were very on point, very well done.
Thank you. Like, yeah, their relationship is very important to like the story. So he's definitely gonna be around. He is like the number 2 character,
Okay.
in the story. Like he works there, and he's gonna be like a major part of actually the issue number 2. Because I've completed the outline. I actually started working on the script from about 7 pages in, and it's gonna be they're going to be going to his alma mater. And so part of that is going to be at his college. He attended an HBCU in New Orleans. So part of the story is going to involve them going to his school to kind of investigate some stuff. So yeah, he's there. That's my guy. Like he would be, if I was there, he would be me, because I'm not going to fight a vampire. Now, the other person with a metallic arm and the gun and the sword, like she can go ahead and knock that out, I guess.
That part.
But I'm not doing it. But I'll tell her like maybe be a little cautious, and then I'll drive the getaway car. but so he's a lot. He's the closest version to me. Like I could kind of sneak into the comic.
Nice. Okay, that
Yeah.
answered one of my other questions. Which character do you see yourself the most in? So you're like, I'm just gonna put myself in here,
Yeah, they
That's
say
awesome.
write what you know. So
Period. Okay.
Love
Now you
that.
mentioned that you're already starting working on issue 2. I'm curious, what do you see this story? How do you see this story taking shape in terms of length of issues?
I am trying to build like a complete like world. Like I want my goal for the series is to go to basically take Dara from being an inexperienced like rookie detective in her early 20s in the 80s to her being in her mid to late 30s in the 90s. And by that time she's basically Batman. She's the world's greatest detective. So
Okay.
we have like a really I have a lot of stuff that I want to put into the issues. So it'll be like every issue will be like a kind of like a monster of the week type of thing where there's a case, but then there's the overarching story of like her parents and what happened and him and some other stuff. So I have 6 issues already kind of mapped out in my
Nice.
head, and we're still in the 80s by that time. So, and like I said, like I want to get her. Basically, I want her to become Misty Knight at some point. Right now, she's she's not like well versed in what she's doing. She's putting herself in very dangerous situations because she doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I want to take everyone on a journey from that to her, like I said, basically just being Batman and just wrecking shop and like doing some really, really amazing things by the end of the story. So yeah, now that the first one went so well, thankfully, big shout out to every single person who supported it. Now I know that the proof of concept is there, that people are interested. They want to take this ride with Dara, and so yeah, I'm gonna try to pump them out like a little faster. Like this is my first one, so I didn't know what I was doing either. I was Dara.
That's crazy that you went that ham on the first one. You have to give us you don't have to give us every grimy detail, but you got to give us like what that process was like, because you said you had this idea 20 years ago. So like the idea came, and obviously there was a lot of production. You put your time, you said you took your time and your money because there was things that had to be in that first issue, because you were like, I don't know if we're doing anything else after this. So we get that. But for you to have done such an exceptionally good job with your Kickstarter, and this is your first time, I feel like the people don't have those like kind of weird, awkward, give us the path forward type of conversation. So if you wouldn't mind like sharing a bit about what that was like and how you went about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I had the idea like a long time ago, and I didn't think that I could really execute it. I never thought it was really going to be possible, at least to make a comic book. So eventually, what I did was I wrote a script. I wrote a television pilot, and then I wrote like a full-length film script for it. Because I was like, well, maybe some way somehow I could make it a TV show or a film. So I did that probably like 10 years ago. And after that, so like I had the story, like I was good to go. I kind of had everything kind of settled as far as like what I wanted to tell. Then maybe around COVID, when I was at the house, it did kind of dawn on me that I actually could make it a comic book. Now thanks to like social media, like you can get in contact with artists. Like that was my biggest hurdle young, was that I was like, I can't draw and I don't know anyone. And so, and I didn't know how to get in contact with anyone. But now on Instagram, like all of the artists that I work with, Robin Smith, she's done like Nubia for DC, and she did
Watch Day Diaries.
Yeah. I literally just DM'd her. on Instagram.
Period. Shoot your shot. I know that's right.
Right?
And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. That's fine. And I was like, okay, I want to do the Sade thing. She's like, oh, I love it. Boom, boom. We're all good. Karan Grant has also done stuff for Marvel. I DM'd him and he was like, sure, here's my fee. And if you could, and I was like, okay, I got that. So went ahead and did that. He was like, oh, like, I love the concept. I love the characters. Like, I have some ideas about the cover, like what to do. And I was like, well, I actually have an idea. I didn't want to do the Purple Rain thing. He's like, oh, forget it. That's what we're doing. Because he didn't even buy. He's like, I have no ideas now. We're going to do that. So, yeah, just like linking up with them, it gave me like a really good start. And Kari Evans, who did the Malcolm X inspired cover, he's the one that did the cover for Daughters of the Dragon #2. So
full circle.
Yeah, he was the person who got me on this path, and I was able to find him. He wasn't even on Instagram, but I found him some way, somehow, and I emailed him, and I was like, your art is the reason why I'm even doing this comic book. Would you do a cover? And he was like, absolutely, because he's retired. And he was like, well,
wow, that's a flex.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So he did that, and he also did the Maneater short story. He did the Dara X cover and the short story that was based on Blade. That's another thing I threw in there. I was like, I gotta get this Blade introductory scene in here because, again, I might not make another one. So I saved up. Basically, what I did is I got with them. I was like, okay, I have some art. I did some research to figure out how much it would cost to do the comic, to create all of the art and get it printed and shipping out. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna save up some money. So I saved up money for like 2 years. So I had enough money to where I figured I could like make it. And then like right before I was gonna do it, I'd already had, started talking to everybody about the covers and stuff. I saw a video on how to launch a comic book Kickstarter. And I was like, hey, that's actually sounds like a pretty good idea. If I use the money that I saved to put into marketing, then I can get that money back and have the fan base already there. Because I was about to spend all this money and then I was gonna have to spend a bunch of money to build the fan base.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and spent the money first to build the fan base and to see if people would be interested in it. Yeah, because a lot of people, like you guys were saying at the a little earlier, you just like kind of throw their Kickstarter into the ether and it just kind of fades away, especially Black comic book creators. Like I go on Kickstarter like almost every day just to look at the comic books. And a lot of them get funded and stuff, but the ones by Black creators, their success rate is much lower. And it's because
harder to find them.
Yeah, because Kickstarter doesn't do anything for you. They're just like the middleman. You push send and boom, it's on there, and that's it. That's all they do. So you can't just put it on there and just magically think it's going to find anybody. Even mine, even though it is very successful, looking at the numbers, I think like 5%, 7% came from Kickstarter, like from the Kickstarter page. Like everything else came from the marketing efforts. So you have to spend money on marketing. Like my biggest tips are to get a few pieces of art, like a cover and just like 2 pages. That's really all you need. Because you got to show people, a lot of people just do like text, like here's my story, and it's like, well, this is a visual medium. You got to give them something. Or they're using AI and all that stuff looks the same, and it's like, well, that's not going to inspire anybody to spend any money either.
Right. So, exactly.
Create a couple pieces of art. Like you have to spend a little bit of money. You have to. You can't just like wish it into success. Spend a little money, create some art, spend some money on some advertising, and then you can start to build your fan base and see if people will react positively to your character. Like I always thought my character, I thought Dara, I thought people would like her because I like her. I thought she was cool and unique and all that good stuff. But of course I did. I'm my creator, so I'm super biased. But the marketing showed that people did react positively to her. And it only happened because I put it in enough places for people to see it, for people to react well to it. So you have to, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, "Oh, well, that's going to take a long time." And I'm like, the time's going to pass anyway. You know what I'm saying? If it takes a year or 2 years, that's years, it's going to happen anyway. So you want to set it up properly so you can ensure like your success. Like this is going so well now that for me that I can hopefully turn this into like my full-time career, within like the next year or so. Like once I'm able to, get my my scheduling down to get the pipeline ready, where I can drop one every 3 months instead of once a year.
That's
then
nice.
I'm like, that's a well-oiled machine every 3 months.
I mean, like I said, I have the stories, and like the interior artist PJ well, he's like worked for like Marvel and Ubisoft. He did like the Assassin's Creed comic book, like the whole thing.
So
nice.
He's like ready to go. Like he's like, you give me the script, I'll knock it out. So it's just a matter of, like I work and I have to do life
things, right?
Yeah, got an adult up in here, but once we can kind of get the second one out, like I think we'll be able to build the momentum to keep things going at a really nice pace. And I have like other ideas, like I want to do like a manga like prequel with Dara, like at her boarding school in the UK. And then maybe do a little one where like her college days, and it basically be like a different world, like a maybe like a six issue like little short story with that. I want to do some stuff about her parents, like what they were doing before. Like I want to do like more like 80s like horror film parodies, like in the universe. Like I'm working on a story that's kind of like a Welcome to Derry / A Nightmare on Elm Street meets New Jack City. This is going to be set in like a housing project in Harlem, with Dara's college roommate as the lead protagonist, because it'll be in New York City. So it'll be kind of like a parallel thing, like kind of build out a whole little universe. So I just need the time to get all of this stuff out, and we should be, like I got ideas for days. Like I said, I've been working on this sitting on this for 20 years. So if nothing else, I got some stories.
Hey,
that is so dope. And I'm so excited that you, as a Black artist, as a Black creator, like you're able to be like, you are on track to being able to take care of yourself on just this. Because we know so many writers and other creators who aren't able to do this. So like, yo, the biggest props to you, like to be able to do this. That's amazing.
Appreciate it. Like, it's a blessing. Like the response from people was like overwhelming. Like I couldn't believe, like we did 1,720 orders on Kickstarter. It's like the top 1% of like comic book Kickstarters ever. Like it's only people that are above us are literally like Marvel artists that release their like art book, their books of their covers, so like licensed IPs and stuff like that. We're very, very, very high up there, and it's been a blessing. But it was a lot of work in marketing. You have to market. I have to tell people you got to market your stuff. So
yes, and for those who like want to have a number connected to this, you were initially only asking for like 10 grand, and y'all ended up getting like almost 81,000, which is wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. It was-
that's amazing.
yeah. We beat it like we made like 13,000 the first day in the first 24 hours. And I was
Peak.
just like, I was
Peak.
I was shocked. I was just because I was like, okay, if I can sell like 400 or 500, then cool. I mean, if I can get like 10 people to buy this shirt, like that'll be great. Like I did the, make yourself a character thing, and I was like, I think I can get like 5 people to do that. Like 2 of them are like my cousins. And we had like 40 something people. Like I had to add the one of the short stories. I had to add that, and the PSAs. I had to add that because I had so many people that actually wanted to be in the
Come
comic.
on, good problems.
So yeah,
right?
no, very, very good problem. So yeah, I'm just very, very grateful for people like just reacting positively to this. Because like I said, it's like a dream of mine to create this, and to have it come out, be successful. It looks great. Like it looks better than I've been thinking about for 20 years. It looks better than what I thought it could ever look like. And I'm just so proud of like the work that the art team did. They listened to a guy who didn't know what he was doing, and they made it look really, really good. And everyone was patient with me, and
Wait, hold on. What we're not about to do is play like you didn't know what you were doing, okay?
Right.
Because you may not have done it before, but that 20 plus years of like planning and preparation and putting it
Multiple
in your mind and
formats of
all
the
of that.
story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like just like how we're talking about like calling you a writer or creator or whatever, you also got to throw businessman on there because we've had these conversations recently with people about Kickstarters and about what it looks like from a buyer's perspective and how you have to kind of step out of your creator bag to really think of it as a business and what will actually reap the the benefits that you're looking for. LT in the comments says that's what I hear. If you get the target on the first day on Kickstarter, it puts the campaign in a different tier and visibility based on their algorithm. That's like more than a notion. People dream of being able to reach their entire goal like on the first day. So like, and people are already in the chat saying thank you, for dropping gems and stuff like that. But just for like full context, give people the timeline of like how far ahead of the actual launch date you were doing ads.
I started running ads maybe like it was a while. I think like 4 months ahead. Basically, once I got the 3 covers, which was in the summer of 2024, I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and just start like building the hype. Like we built like a landing page before I got my website Dark Pink Comics up and running. Like I got a smaller one with a landing page so people could like send their email, and they could and I encourage people to go over to, and I launched like the pre-launch page on Kickstarter as well, so people could follow that. Because you might as well, like as soon as you're ready to start to put the information out there, you might as well start, because you don't have to launch the Kickstarter like as soon as you have everything. You can build it up slowly. You can like just have people go sign up. We had a thing like trying to like teach people how to sign up for Kickstarter, because I knew a lot of people didn't know really what that process really entails, because it's not like it's not like pre-ordering a book or anything. So just kind of get the ball rolling, because you can also see what's working and what's not working. You can see if like this phrasing like grabs people's attention and this one doesn't. Like this piece of art, people like, and this one they're not reacting so well to. And then you can kind of build it from there. Like we got a really good reaction. Like I had a guy do a picture of Dara as like a vampire. and with the bucket hat on and the Adidas jumpsuit, because I was like that. In a picture, if someone's never seen something like that'll kind of give someone at least an idea of what's going on here.
Yeah.
And so like people reacted really, really well to that. And so like, okay, we're off to like a very good start. Show them the Prince cover. I knew that was gonna go. I would have like walked out of the whole project if people didn't react well to the Prince cover. I just knew it was just so well done. I knew it. Like that's when I kind of knew. I was like, okay, I think I might have something here. So yeah, it's one of those things where you give yourself time to work out the kinks before you really launch stuff. Because once you launch it,
that's it.
That's it. So like I hate to see projects that don't hit their goals, and see people like have to retry. I mean, you can always retry, but I see people will just do it, just put it up again, like, and don't change anything. And it's like you have to be willing to take constructive criticism, like, and adjust. And it's not just about you as a creator and your project. Like, you want people to buy it. You want people to invest in your vision. So you have to meet them where they are as well. A lot of like artists are very like, it's my baby and it has to be exactly like this. And I know how it feels, because I had to cut some stuff from Dark Pink #1 that hurts me to this day.
Like what?
Oh yeah. And will it show up somewhere else? Right.
Okay, so Dark Pink #1, the official version, the whole entire story takes place over like 2 or 3 days. It's a very short, window. The original version takes place over a week. So there's a lot of stuff. There's like days in between the first 2 times she goes undercover, like days, stuff happens. I had to cut 2 characters. Like literally they are not in there, and I needed them to be in there. So and that's the way to get them into the second one, but they're not even, we got characters that are just not even in the book.
Wow.
The ending is slightly different as well. It's just, but you gotta
edit.
Yeah, you gotta edit. You gotta be able to let go of things. There's some really good jokes in there too that I was just like, man, I can't.
I'm sorry. Editing is fine. I also would like to know if you'll ever create that original comic and put it as a reward in a future Kickstarter.
Yes, that's my plan. Like I want to see the original version of Dark Pink #1 someday. So maybe
hold on, Christopher, just hear me out, because we are obsessed with omnibuses around these parts. So when the arc is done, we want that sexy hardcover omnibusy with all of the extra content in the back or something.
Yeah.
You gotta have like a little us in the bottom, like pointing at it. Pink Riot said he had to make this or something.
I got you covered. I mean, there's actually a page that was done, like written, completed, drawn, colored, lettered, that I had to take out. There's literally a page I have just sitting there, and it's a good page too, because this is with Dara and him, like before they get to the house, like their ride to the house. And I was like, I don't have enough space, and I got to do this other thing. I was like, it's a completed page. There's just that I look at sometimes. I'm like, man, that's a good page. This is really good. So yeah, I definitely, my goal is to do the full Dark Pink #1, maybe like next year on the 2-year anniversary or something like that, to get it done, because this is like maybe 15 pages of content.
Wow.
On my computer, just written, ready to go. So, but yeah, like I had to do it, and like I still think the story came out really well. And it kind of sets the table. I think we showed like Dara's personality. We dropped a few hints about like her family and kind of set the stage to kind of keep telling the story. So even though it's not my 100% full vision, I think it's a complete story that someone can sit and read front to back and enjoy.
Yes.
Nice. Dwayne says we need an uncut version. So yeah, maybe when the next, couple issues come out, the next couple Kickstarters down the line, it's like that could be a add-on or something. You could get the uncut version.
Director's cut. I love
Yeah,
it.
I want to do it just as bad as anybody wants to see it. I want to do it because it was really good. It'll make a good movie. That's for sure. So
nice.
Nice.
I'm here for that.
Yes, LT, the director's edition. LT's got jokes. He said, LOL,
Right.
picture it. Sicily, 1945. Pink Riot Omnibus for the fam. Cause I'm a pitch it every time. Every time.
No, it's coming. As long as people keep supporting what we're doing. Like I would love to do it. Like I have had a really great time like working on this and talking to people and getting like seeing people's reactions to it. It's a validating thing. You work on something like really hard and for like a long time, and there are times like I thought it was good, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be successful or if I could actually get it to the finish line. And to get it there and have people like really react well to it and like give me that confidence and that reassurance that we are on the right path and we can create like a really cool independent Black comic book starring a really awesome Black woman doing really awesome things and in a unique place and a unique time. Yeah, I think that is something that like I said, I got plenty of stories to tell with her, and I think people will continue to enjoy it because that I will say this is not my best writing. Like I know I can do a better job because this is my first writing a comic book. I've written books and scripts before, but writing a comic book is something else. Like I learned a lot, and also the artist really helped me kind of like tighten things up as well. But I know, like, I feel so much more confident, just like looking at like the 7 pages that I have so far on number 2 done. I'm like, this is looking really nice. So I'm excited.
Okay, we're excited to see you step into your bag. Jana says Dark Pink and Pink Riot collab, limited San Diego Comic-Con variant. She said it, not me, but it sounds like a good idea. I don't know if you've seen any of this, but when you first started doing promotion for Dark Pink, we had people asking us if it was our book or if we had anything to do with it.
No, I can see that.
We're like, nah, it's really cool. We love it. We're definitely going to support it, but we can't take credit for that.
No, it fits like with the whole vibe. That's why I reached out to you guys. Like it's like it's all syncing up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I feel like it's something that like your audience and my audience are the same.
Yes.
Like the things that you guys like are things that I like or things that they like. And we can all just kind of come together and do some cool stuff. And like I said, having a Black female led comic book, something very important for me because I'm just in general I'm a fan of Black women. 10 out of 10 do recommend. So I wanted to get something out there in a positive light that shows like how amazing you all are. And we can't have enough positive Black female images in all forms of media, really. So if I can play my little part to help it out, then I'm more than happy. And that's something that's very important that I'm trying to specifically do with Dara is to present her in a positive, empowering, and just a light where, like I said, people will want to root for her and want to follow her. So,
well, definitely mission accomplished with this first issue. We can't wait to see where you take it. We got everybody in the chat co-signing. They're biased, but I have to agree. It does just make sense. And Jana, you really hit the nail on the head. Dark Pink and Pink Riot collab, but she also said podcastresses as vampires on the cover. I'm not anti being a vampire. That's all I'm saying.
hey, look, I put people. There's a lot of people in this comic book that are people in real life. You know what I'm saying? So like, I would have no problem like throwing y'all on there. We could do like one of the shorts could just be like a very like a Pink Riot specific like short. You guys and Dara getting up into something. So you guys have been very supportive, and I appreciate it. And I want to, I want to work with people that want to work with me. So yeah, like I'm not trying to gatekeep nothing. I'm just one dude that made one comic. So like I want to work with all the people that have the same interests as me, that are into the same stuff that I'm into, finding my tribe and all that good stuff. So, so yeah, like we can have a little chat about that. Like I said, I'm gonna continue like the shorts and stuff. Cause I think it's a good way to add more content and add more value, to all the comics. Like it was kind of like a something I needed to do in this first one, but I enjoyed it so much that I want to keep going and make sure like all the comics are like, this one's like almost 90 pages. So I want to have them all being like 75, 80, 90 pages, so, people can get their money's worth, especially if I can't do it, like the major publishers and drop, an issue every month or something like that. The least I can do is, if you have to wait 3 months, give you a whole story. So,
period.
Yeah, I like that.
Love that. Y'all are really going crazy with these ideas in the chat, but we love y'all for it.
Goodness, right.
We want to make sure that we're being respectful to you and your time, but we also want to make sure that you have the opportunity to shameless plug where people can find you, where people can, if it's possible to still get copies right now outside of the Kickstarter, where can people throw money towards other projects you have going on, all that. Just shameless plug yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, we're still selling Dark Pink. We got Dark Pink Comics with an S.com is the website. You can order. We're kind of running low on the Sade and the Dara X covers. But I ordered a bunch of the Purple Rain ones, so we got a ton of those. We have art prints, because there's so much great art. I was just like, well, we can just do some art prints. So we have like 7 or 8 art prints. We got a couple T-shirts. We got this shirt, and then we have the Purple Rain shirt as well. And yeah, so we do. I'm trying to sell like 10,000 or something at this point. So,
nice.
So yeah, darkpinkcomics.com, at Dark Pink Comics on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, and what's the other one? The one that I'm not on. If we have a thing, I'm not on there.
Blue Sky.
Threads. Thank you.
Okay.
I just did the threads. So you can find me at Talented Mr. Ford on Instagram. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to you two for having me. Thank you to everybody in the chat that's picked it up. I really, really appreciate the love and support. Like, I'm super humbled by it. Like I said, I was like, man, can I just sell a couple hundred of these? And to get way past that has been like a blessing. And everyone you're all helping me like live my dream and accomplish something I wanted to do for like a very long time. So I really, really genuinely appreciate you guys let me come on here and talk for an hour, and everyone that's even checked it out, anyone that just followed us on Instagram, like we have like 7,500 followers. I'm like, what? So, it really does mean a lot to me, and I'm super grateful.
Yes, we're grateful that you came through, and just know, like, you've been a vibe. We would love to have you back for the next Kickstarter, like, so we could be a part of the motion.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a great time. Like, I am a fan of you guys' show. I love the vibes. I love the aesthetic. I love, like, I like the color pink. So obviously, you guys have always been, creating like really, really cool content. And like I said, like the vibes are great. So I was like, let me see if I can get on here. And look, here we are. And yeah, we got to we'll do something. I'll say it right now, and someone can clip this or do whatever. But I'm gonna get you guys into Dark Pink #2. Get your likenesses in there some way, somehow. We'll figure something out. So,
hey, y'all heard it here. Right? Exclusive.
Yeah. We got to make it happen. So, we all work together. Teamwork makes the dream work, and all that good stuff. So
that's dope.
Yes. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes. Thank you again. Oh, we're so excited. Like, what? Thank you again for pulling up. Yes. Everyone's like, let me write that down.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'll start thinking about some stuff now. Like I said, got to do a side one of the like little PSAs. Like if you don't know, now you know. That's the name of the PSA series. So
yes.
I like that.
So yeah, we gotta bounce some ideas, off of YouTube and see like how you guys want to be represented, because I want to make sure everybody is pleased with if you're gonna be on there, you got to be on there the way you want to be on there. So.
This is so cool. I'm excited.
This. Yeah.
Yes, awesome. All of the vibes. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Like we said, we can't wait to see what you do next. You've definitely been an inspiration for us and for a lot of other people, like, and what their Kickstarter could be and what it needs to look like and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. It's clear that you love what you do, and that showed up in the story and in the way that you planned and prepared for your Kickstarter. So we definitely would be honored to be a part of anything you got going on moving forward, man.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. I don't take any like compliments and those kind of words. I don't take any of that lightly, because you both could have just kept scrolling right past some ads. So, anybody takes the time to check it out, and I'm so glad that you guys liked it, because you are the type of people that I had in mind. Like, this is like my fan base for this project. So I'm glad that you guys did enjoy it. I really do. Appreciate you're spending your money and taking your time out to talk to me about
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks again for coming, man. And we can't wait to have you back for the next Kickstarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully in the next couple of months here, maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully. So
that's exciting.
Right?
Yeah, I will keep you two posted, and yeah, we'll talk about the appearance. Like, I'm definitely down to make that happen. So let's go ahead.
Yeah. All right, everybody. One more time, Mr. Christopher Ford. Hold on, did he press? There he goes. Later. Oh my goodness, I have to get better at that.
StreamYard just be hating. That's all.
Yo, just absolutely hating. That was awesome.
Yes, he's so cool and so chill. And that's crazy to think, like, about his writing chops and how prevalent that is for people to be like writing their stories as a script for a movie or a show before they consider comics as a medium. Like the more and
Yeah.
more we're hearing from people and hearing that, it's like, wow, that, and then they're all saying the same thing.
Right.
Like it's totally different chops to write a comic versus writing a script or a novel or something else.
I mean, but to see his first comic come out and the story doing what it did, I
Right.
really enjoyed. I really enjoyed it. I'm so
And that
just
level of quality the first time around. So for him to say like, yeah,
yeah,
now I got confidence moving into the next one. It's like, my guy, was it not there before? Because what is this
right?
next one about to look like? You know what I mean?
I think above all things, what really, I mean, yes, the Kickstarter. I think that's advice that everybody needs to take. But like
Yeah.
hearing how much he did it for himself, like
Yeah.
he created the story. He saw this space in the market, and he was like, there needs to be something here, and I'm going to put the thing I've always wanted to see out there. And I think that is the best thing you can do for art. Absolute
100%.
best thing you can do. And so just that was really great. And to know that
Yeah.
he's just like living out his absolute nerd life in the best
Yes.
way was wonderful.
Can you imagine having to be like, all right, we have to hit these notes. And then like how much he, first of all, he was dropping bars because how
Yeah.
much insight and wisdom does it take to say, wow, this is my baby, but I have to separate myself enough to be able to like actually edit this for what will make it the best version for everybody
Yes.
else. And to like
'Cause the way I
actually
would have
have
left
had
everything in.
exactly, like, he's got whole characters and, like, can you imagine so, another comment that was said in the chat, but I didn't wanna interrupt him as he was speaking. LT was talking about how, you know, based off of the interviews that we've had and stuff, it seems like indie creators are paying their artists and stuff better than Marvel
Yeah.
and DC, and I have to agree because it's not a I'm gonna pay you whenever the cycle happens or whatever. It's like he said, I saved money for 2 years so
Yeah.
that I could pay people what they were due. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. The
the level of
intentionality behind
respect
that.
that you have to have for the craft and for the
Yes.
people that you're working with to say, because he said it perfectly, the time's gonna pass regardless, and that's a whole nother thing too. But to be able to say, I'm gonna hold off on doing this thing that's been on my heart for this long so that I can do it properly and I can pay people what they're owed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he said he went to, I love that he had that full circle moment too with one of the artists that like
Yeah.
initially got him into comics. Like he said, I'm gonna go for what I want, I'm gonna be Delulu and hop in people's DMs, and I've already saved
You
money.
did.
So when they tell me the price, I can just be like, I got that. That's a whole
Yeah.
nother level of like, I have the vision and I'm gonna do what I need to do to get there. And then to like have the patience to go slow. Can you imagine seeing the artwork for the like Sade cover, the Purple Rain cover? You got all these pages or whatever before you even get going on everything, and you're just sitting on it for
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Like, bro, my head would explode or something. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean,
Because
it speaks to having both the mind of an artist and, like you said, the mind of, a business person.
yeah,
Like, that's not something everyone can balance well.
yeah,
And he did really, really well with that. Like, absolutely great. So just,
100%.
yeah,
But yeah,
all,
and now he's
all,
like, oh yeah, we cooking with fire. We gonna do it on
right?
this regular cadence and stuff like. He has a vision for it, and he has a plan to execute that because he didn't stutter. He's like, no, this is what this is what it looks like. And then he just rambled off all these other stories, ideas that he has of like building the world around all these other characters and stuff too. It's like, oh yeah, that's definitely something to look out for. LT said, Sometimes there's real value in letting things cook and simmer. I bet during those 20 years he was learning so many other things that made this release a success. That's that
That part. Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
And y'all, I'm just gonna keep being Delulu and asking people to put us in their books.
I was just about to say. I was like, oh my goodness, you asking again, but you know what?
I mean, y'all, she didn't stop
do
me,
it.
but I could tell on her
didn't.
face, like, here she go with this shit. But I'm gonna do
Oh,
it.
you saw that?
Everybody else might not have seen it, but girl, I know your face. You're like, Lord, here she go with this shit. But
But you know what? Closed mouths don't get fed, so I let you go.
Okay.
I let you go.
Yeah.
Or, you know, yeah. You got it. So I'm not gonna say nothing.
Yeah. When we start racking up these Pink Riot variant covers, then what? Y'all, I'm so gassed because it's like, it's one thing to like talk about it just for the idea of it, but like we literally had people like responding to us sharing it in the stories thinking that it was our book, and it's like, nah. We wish we could take credit for that, but that's not our it's not our thing. Is it very much on brand? Yes it is. That's why we're sharing it, but no, that's not our book, you know. So when it's like, when it does align and it matches like what we're already talking about, things that already align with our branding, it's like, yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we have a few things we need to talk about, right? Okay. So what are we going to do? Are we going to do news and pop culture first, or are we going to talk about some of these comics that we've read together?
So Brianna is very much behind on her reading, and yes, I'm referring to myself in the third person.
We read X-Men United, right? We can talk
we
about
did.
that.
Okay, I have read that.
Yeah.
But we were supposed to talk about Moonstar for a number of reasons, and I could not read it because I cannot find my issue 1s. And y'all know I bought every variant of issue 1, but it's locating it that's the issue. I need y'all to understand that after we went on our good friend's show and had to like prepare pulls to share, I tore up what little organization I did have going on with my most recently acquired books, trying to hunt down certain issues. And
so it's lost in the void.
It's like it's amid the chaos. And then and then also
came for you.
What
He
happened?
said you got 5 issues and can't find
one of them. Listen, because they're all together. Wherever they're at, they are all together, and they're in a bag within a bag, and probably in a short box, because I tried to keep That's right, Brayburn. They're all together. That's why they're lost. Because y'all, so me and Keisha do this differently, but
oh yeah.
well, yeah, like Keisha's like, once it's bagged and boarded, it's above me, and we're not taking it out. And I tried to like,
true.
I'm trying to be better because Keisha said be better about organizing your books. I'm trying to be better about scanning my comics, my floppies, into CLZ as soon as I get them, and then putting them in the bags and boards so they're safe. And I just don't tape them until I've read them. So I have like a rotation of like 4, well, like 2 short boxes where it's all new issues that I need to get to so that I can put them away properly. And whatever happens in between there is, you know, that's not always my business. So
Bree
like,
said it's above me.
It's above, like literally, like, and I've been doing really well about carving out time like Saturday morning Cause y'all,
Mhm.
I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm not a morning person.
At
Keisha
all.
knows this firsthand.
At all.
I am not a morning person, like not even a little bit. But I'm
Mm-mm.
also a responsible mother. So, you know, I have to be up and functioning and have a kind heart early in the morning for the sake of my offspring. But I promise you, if I did not have to do that, I
Won't.
would not be up at
Won't.
that hour. Okay? And we're trying to like eliminate regular coffee from our diet among other things. So when I tell you I really am not in the
Oh,
morning,
we are.
right, yeah, it's
Coffee
hard
got
out
you through
here.
San Diego.
It's hard out here. Look, I'm hoping I will have it together by then. I promise. We might. It may have to be we break the rules for the sake of that so we can make it because we got some back to back stuff going on. But I
Yeah.
said all that to say on Saturdays, I like to let myself wake up naturally at whatever hour my body decides because I deserve nice things. And so
Love
once I
that.
do that, then I try to be like, all right, I'm going to carve out this much time to read my issues that I have so that I can catch up and my backlog of floppies that need to be read doesn't get too ridiculous. However, I have had life events, major
Yeah.
life events happen in the last, you know, couple weekends that have prevented me from being able to do this. So where they are, I don't know. And me at that time was like, that's next weekend Bree's problem.
It's not your
And
business.
right, that's not my
Not
business
your
right now.
business.
No,
But we
that's not my
can
business.
talk about X-Men United.
Yes.
That is the yes. Okay, so with X-Men United,
Okay, you're gonna give the
I'm
summary.
gonna give I'm not gonna give a summary. I'm gonna give context. This is my first X-Men comic ever. We have a lot in our
Ever, babe?
house. Yes.
Wait, what? Okay.
So
Sorry, that was
like
beautiful. My bad.
like no, it's okay because like so you know the way I feel about Star Wars and you know how I try to like I'm a casual Star Wars person. I don't like saying that I am part of the fandom because I don't like how the fandom operates. Similar, not exact, but similar with X-Men. I, you know, I'll watch the movies, love the movies, all of that. But like y'all are judging me. And
No.
y'all are judging me in the chat. But like
We've
no,
already no judgment, guys. We've already established that Keisha is the DC girly
yeah, I'm a
and
DC
I'm more the
girl.
Marvel girly.
Yeah, so like and my husband is a big X-Men fan. So we have a lot of the comics,
He
right?
literally charged her up like, you brought X-Men in this house and you didn't.
He did. He really did. And to also, right, he took the comics a week ago. I just got them back today. Just got them back today. I had to go get digitals because I couldn't find them. I was like, he probably still has them.
So here, oh, I
Like,
love putting. Okay, so you know, but it takes reminding. If you're getting your comics within the week that they're released, you want to look in your book for the little code, so
this
that
is
way you
also
don't have
true.
to pay separately for the digital copy. This is a PSA for anyone who doesn't know. I'm just trying to find the page so I could show you guys. But they started doing this some years back, and it's cool because then you
Mhm.
have it in multiple places, but it's
Yeah.
frustrating because sometimes the way that they have it set up, there's like dates that it's limited that you can access it. So it's
Yeah.
usually like somewhere in the middle of the book. You get this little thing here and you peel the little top part off and there's a code in there. And then you can go to the Marvel Unlimited app, enter your code, and you can download the copy of that issue to your account. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's usually like within a week of the release. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. My theory is always just try it. It'll give you an error message if you can't do it. and then worst case scenario, you can't get it. But best case scenario, it's one of the times where they extended it, and then you'll get it.
Yeah.
But
But I
yeah, that's
didn't have the books, and I forgot about
that's
all of
fair.
that.
But it's a good
But I
that's a good
mean,
reminder.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But I mean, like, to be honest, it's Ewing books. So I'm like, I had no problem, especially because I had already read the first issue.
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh, this is what people are talking about.
yeah,
This is cool. This is dope." Because like, I
yeah,
know all these characters from the movies and, the TV shows and stuff, but I never read any of the comics like that. And
mm,
the only reason I picked it up actually is because of our Ewing interview where and the fact that, when she wrote Monica Rambeau, she made it so that she always writes with intention, assuming that people are just coming into the fandom for that
yeah.
specific character. So I
So
was
you
like,
don't
if
have to know all
anyone's
the lore.
right, so like if anybody's gonna hold my hand as a new X-Men reader, it's gonna be her. And so
Yeah,
yeah, like I'm having a great time with this comic. I
love that
really
for you,
am.
babes.
Yeah.
Love that.
I say all that to say, I'm really enjoying like this comic and what she's doing with these characters. I know she's introduced a few new characters. Like I'm really enjoying it very, very much. So yeah.
Yes, definitely a vibe. So do you want to do the summary or do you want me to do it?
No.
Oh, okay, babes. Yes, Eve is also our queen, Raven. You know the
Yes.
vibes. Okay, so we have X-Men United. Whoops. Written by Dr. Eve Ewing. Okay. We
Yes.
have what's the name? What is the whatever lane? What are we calling it?
Lane.
So basically it's after, all of the events of Krakoa and all of that, and the X-Men are coming together and they're doing a new version of the school to kind of keep pushing forward Xavier's legacy of building a space for, mutant kind to be able to learn about their abilities freely and have community and all of that. So you have the main uh heavy hitter, baddie herself, Miss Emma Frost, who has like decided to lead but won't take the full role for herself. So you have Kitty alongside her and the other like
Prodigy.
core X-Men who are like the main. So you have it. I like how they did it. Hold on, let me pull it out. They broke down the characters into like groups of how their things are working in the hierarchy of the new school. And it's the new school is called Gray Matter Lane. So you have the X-Men who are like the main heavy hitters: Emma Frost, Kitty Pryde, Iceman, Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Glob Herman, Storm, Rogue, Gambit, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Laura Kinney, and Prodigy as the X-Men. Then you have student mentors, AXO, Bronze, Melee, Rift, and Sophie Cuckoo and the Cuckoo. I don't know who that
Mm-hmm.
is. And then you have the students. So you have newer characters: Dryad, Flourish, Wolf Cub, Woofer, Lulo, Galura, Animalia, and Ben Lu. And you would think that that would mean that they're like going down in age as they're going down in which category they're in, but they're not. There,
Mm-mm.
there are some who are in the student level who are older than the people who are at the mid level, but because they're younger in terms of mastering their
Experience.
skill set or in their experience in combat or whatever, they're like mixed up in the classroom setting and all of that. So they're showing the new school, and the first issue we get a peek into how the school is kind of set up and separated and all of the security that they've put into place to keep everybody safe. And we got everybody's favorite hater, Cyclops, complaining about how
Yo.
he doesn't think that it's a good idea for that many X-Men to like join together because it's asking for drama, it's asking for trouble, whatever. And Emma Frost is very much being her bad bee self and pretty much saying like, well, yeah, we're not going to just live in fear and we're going to keep the legacy moving forward. So you can go cry in the car. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing over here, basically. And he literally like whines like a little womp womp and goes
And
off.
acts like a little punk.
Yeah. He throws a full hissy fit, and he has a few other various ranked mutants who are on his side. I say on his side very loosely because I don't think that they believe in what he's saying for real. They're just listening to him because they're used to him being a leader. And it's funny because all of the other like higher up ranked OG X-Men are pretty much like, yeah, you're just salty because you're not the one running the show. So we're really not trying to hear that. So like when things go up for a vote, they don't go well for him and his viewpoints. And excuse me, they've come up with like all these security measures to make sure that everybody stays safe, so nobody's really paying him any mind. And it gets to the point where, you know, when you have a hater who's determined to be right at no matter at what cost, it's brought up like, oh, you can have every safety measure put in place for outside sources, but the real trouble will always come from somebody inside. And then he goes and does exactly that. He stages some BS to try to make it seem like he was right, and Emma's able to like cut him off at the Frost, and she's just like, yeah, you thought, but my security measures caught you and your little sidekick, and now you've made me miss my lunch, you raggedy bee. So I'm gonna leave you to like sulk in your defeat because nobody fell for your shenanigans. And we also get to see their process that they have in place to exactly, he was wrong for that.
He was
Dwayne, he was very wrong for that, but
Yeah.
he was acting like a baby. We also get to see their process that they have in place for recruiting more mutants, and I love the way that she set that up because we get to see, so they've created a new device that works like Cerebro, but it picks up on like high emotions and abilities and all these other things from mutants. And so they're channeling it for that purpose only. But then you have Boss B Emma Frost, who's like, okay, I'm also going to peak white woman, and how can we monetize this?
Basically, she
So
really did do that.
yeah,
That
so she
frustrated me.
decides we're going to offer out utilization of this cerebro-like device to the Avengers, aka what is this fool's name? Captain America. So we get a Captain America cameo, and he's on his typical Captain America. He's talking about the program that they created trying to recreate his powers, and they show black men getting tortured for this program where they're trying to recreate Captain America. And he's like, yeah, I want to find all of those people who were done wrong so we can like make amends and do the right thing and whatever. And it's like his heart is mostly in the right place, but it's also like peak not peak white man, not thought it all the way through. I'm just gonna come in like Captain Save-A-Ho regardless of how it affects other people. And Emma's like, yeah, if we're going to do this, we need allies. So why wouldn't we try to make sure we can, you know, get some favors owed to the freaking Avengers? So when we do need something to pop off, we have him in our pocket. So they decide to put a small team together to go on this fool's errand with him. And then stuff gets crazy because they're using one of the mid-aged mutants' power to like transport people, the team, to where they've picked up on the device where this one person that they were able to find from this experiment might be. but because they're able to pick up on like heightened emotions and heightened power displays and that sort of thing, it ends up sending each of the members of the like 4 or 5 man team that they put together to the same spot where that person is supposed to be, just in different points in time.
Yeah.
And y'all, tell me this is not Navy Montel. The person that they find.
Oh my goodness. Wait.
The person that they find that Captain America gets sent to, the version of him, this is kind of a spoiler, so if you don't want to see who that person is, look away. But
it is Navy.
Is this not Navy?
That's Navy. Oh,
And
Navy, we found your next
y'all.
cosplay.
He is pissed, and he is ready to like go in on Captain America because he was kind of talking his shit a little bit. So
we found Navy's next cosplay. If he doesn't do it next year,
that's him. And that would be an easy one to do because I feel like the hardest part is just making the little shoulder joints.
Right. Oh,
I literally was like,
we gotta tell him.
We love you, Navy, but that's you in this book. I don't care.
Yes.
Yeah. So he is one of the super soldier experiments who like lived through, and obviously he's our current villain. And I think that is very peak Eve Ewing. Dr. Eve L. Ewing loves to ask the why. What is the why?
Yes.
And that's a hell of a good reason to end up being a super powered villain. Like, they literally show some of the black men who were getting experimented on, and Captain America literally says like a lot of them didn't survive and they went through like torture. That's basically what the program was. So everyone
and
had
it was
their
a nice reference to Truth, Red, White, and Black.
Yes.
Like they even say it in the comic. Like Eve did, you could clearly tell like she did a lot of research.
Yes.
And there was a lot of references. I know I didn't catch all of them, but like those, it was really nice to see that in the comic. Oh man.
But to like end the issue with the way they did those panels was really cool too, because it's split like long ways vertically, and you see each of them. So like, okay, for context, they're all getting ready to jump through the portal that was made together. You see they're all together, and then you see the version of him in the different times, different stuff happening. And they have stuff like in the background, you hear the TV and it's talking about Martin Luther King was just shot on the balcony or whatever, versus, other time frames. And then you see each of the team members in a different space. I thought that was so well done.
It was.
And then the very last page is
Navy
talking his shit. And it's like, oh no, like I haven't had like a good solid wait until next month's episode, like type of energy. That is giving peak Saturday morning, I can't wait till the next episode energy. Is so good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed. I mean, you touched on a few things that I loved and thought too. Like I said, I don't have much interactions or understanding of Scott, but he just seems like a whole jerk. Just that was so childish. Emma was right to be pissed at him, because why are we acting like this? Why are we? And we start the second issue with his nonsense. Just men. I can't like. Yeah, it's just very childish. I do love like there's this conversation as Emma is leaving the nonsense with Scott, and she's going into the meeting that she missed with lunch, and they're having this conversation about pedagogy, which I love. So like they're all of the teachers, Prodigy, Kitty, and a few others, they're trying to figure out how to best meet their students where they are, and they
Yeah.
talk about, leveling, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm back in a PD because I know what that word meant." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god." I love that she brought that element to in a story about academia or, a school setting because we don't
Yeah.
really see that side of it. And knowing that she is a professor and all of that and that's what she focuses on, like, I just absolutely thought it was brilliant that she gave us, like, in 2 issues, we already have, like, a good sense of how the school operates, not only from the
Yeah.
student standpoint in the 1st issue, but, like, we're also getting educators in the 2nd. Um, and then, like I said, I love the references. The one reference that I did pick up was reference to Truth, Red, White, and Black, but then also and I had to write all of these down, that conversation between Kitty and Magneto in issue 2,
Mhm.
I felt like there was every single panel in that conversation was something that I'm like, if I were the one to, like, highlight in a comic, that conversation was brilliant. It was so intentional, like, they have a conversation about, hold on, let me pull it up because
While
I
he's
wanna
literally,
read.
like, chilling in his room, trimming his indoor
Yeah.
plants and shit.
Yeah, they're having a conversation about Captain America and how he feels like he can, I don't know, he can make things better in a way. Like, oh, like if I offer this thing up, then I can make things better and everybody will be okay and try to, I guess, release the burden that he has.
Yeah.
And Magneto, and I agree with him wholeheartedly, is like, there is no amount you can do to
Yeah.
fix what happened to these people. Like, these people were traumatized. A lot of them died. Like, there's nothing you can do to fix that. You are just one person. You are not the system.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I genuinely loved that conversation. It just this story just cements how I feel about Eve Ewing and her writing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whatever she writes, I'm going to, even if I don't know anything about the character, the event, I'm still gonna read it
Yeah,
because
we're
she's
pulling
gonna
up.
make me, yeah, she's gonna make me fall in love with somebody, a character that I wouldn't have necessarily attempted to read on my own.
Yeah.
So like 10 out of
She's also
10.
gonna be very intentional about who gets their page time and where
Mm.
and what it represents. Like, one of my favorite parts was while they're recruiting new mutants,
Yes.
we literally get a student who is traveling to meet them as like a student liaison so that they feel comfortable. And it's like, that makes a lot of sense. There's wisdom in that because think about what that would feel like as a new mutant. The scene is set very tragically, but also beautifully.
Yeah.
The girl is literally like in her room snuggling her cat, really down because she can hear her family arguing about how they don't know what to do with her because her siblings were easy, and then another parent is like, well, the siblings don't have the problem that she has. And so she probably feels super isolated and alone and afraid because she doesn't know how to use her powers. Her family is afraid of her and seems like they just don't know what to do with her and aren't treating her like their actual kid. And in that moment was when the mutant student liaison pops up, and her first thing that she says is like apologizing for hitting her with confetti because she's like, dang it, they wouldn't let me bring glitter. And I'm like, yes, because it was important to her for it to feel like a celebratory moment. And she's like, just excuse the fact that it hit you in the face because this is what I was going for. And so they have this really cute moment. And I don't know who baby girl is, but she's an absolute cutie pie. And she has a
Yeah.
pink tail and pink horns. So I'm like, immediately sign me up. But we have this like beautiful little sisterhood, it's going to be okay, you're safe, this is your opportunity to do it. And the thought that they put into like the first person popped up like at her school and passed her a note, was invisible to pass her this note, and the note gives instructions about like what to do and how to set herself up so that when somebody comes for her, it'll be in a safe space. So if she wants the interaction, she can have. There was a lot of thought put into this instead of it just being like popping up. Like that was one thing I hated in like the X-Men movies when they were recruiting. It's like they just pulled up at their house and it was this big dramatic thing, and their family like are disowning them and everything else. It's like, did it need to be that? Like that would be the last way that I would be trying to like leave off on that type of note. So
Yeah, to make something so traumatic.
right,
They
like
made it, I mean, but that was something I enjoyed about this comic, like the fact that Emma really made it so specific to everyone. I mean, it's all in the mind, I guess, right? And
yeah,
so like everybody is entering the school in their own safe way.
yeah.
I really, really loved that. Really loved that. I can't I'm really excited, and I've never said that about an X-Men comic. I feel really, really excited about that.
Yes. So it's
Yeah,
safe to say we're hooked on Dr. Eve L. Ewing's X-Men United run, and I'll be continuing to cop. I'm not collecting all the variants on this one. I did get a few issue 1 variants, but it's definitely Pink Riot approved. You're so good at that. And yeah, we're definitely going to keep that one going. Also really like the art style. Who is the artist on this one? Cuz
who is it? Artist is Tiago Palma. And then
yeah.
the color artist is Brian Reber. And the letterer is VC's Joe Sabino.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
can't
they're
wait to see I can't wait to see what happens next, cuz we haven't even seen all of the what everybody is doing right now, you know?
yeah. Yeah.
But I love how like the first the first thing that we see is Emma in her bad bee having tea moment, and then you see all of the like core heavy hitters and you got like the music around them. It felt like an intro to an episode of X-Men, and I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah. More of that. But yeah, we haven't even got to see what everybody's doing yet, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna continue and then talk about it later.
Yep.
We also, I guess next week we'll talk about a few of the other comics because there were a few that came out in the last few weeks that I just got to, and I am really enjoying, except for Moonstar. That was
Ooh.
a hard pass for me.
Well, we will definitely be
Yeah.
talking about that at next week's episode, because I love it when we have these type of things where we're both on like opposite ends of the spectrum about something for different reasons, because at the end of the day we both usually understand where the other one's coming from, and it's just like, okay girl, do you, but I'm gonna still be doing this over here. um but I think that's where our conversations are the most fun, because it's like we're not going to agree on everything, we're two different people, but
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about our points about both sides of it. But yeah, we got some awesome feedback from our Riot royalty about what they want to see. So we're gonna try to make sure that we're talking about books that we are both reading in detail like this more frequently. So we want to give the people what they want, you know?
Yes.
But yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in and kicking it with us and showing love to Christopher and Dark Pink. If you haven't already, we dropped the link in the chat so that you could go cop the Dark Pink issues. And it sounds like some of those variants are running low. So you may want to run and go cop that before they're not accessible right now. It's definitely a vibe. We got stuff to look forward to because he's working on issue 2. So thank you for being supportive of that. If you don't already, make sure that you like, share, follow, comment, subscribe to Pink Riot Comic Show on all US platforms. We really appreciate every single last one of you. We finally made it to 1K followers on Instagram. Woo! We did a little happy dance because we hitting milestones around here, whatever. You
Hell
know,
yeah.
it's a vibe. We couldn't do it without you guys. It really does make a world of a difference anytime you like or share or repost any of our videos so they get more reach and get seen by more people. Makes a world of a difference, and we appreciate you for taking that step anytime that you do it. If you haven't already, check out the link in our bio so you can sign up for our Patreon. We do have a free tier. Shout out to all of our Patreon subscribers. We do a happy dance every single time one of you guys pop up new on that list because that means we're building community and we love to see y'all over there. Like I said, there's a free tier, and then we do have several paid tiers. And the higher up you go in the paid tiers, the more access you have to exclusive behind the scenes, sneak peeks, determining what we're reading and what we're talking about and what's happening on the show. And our highest tier even participate in some of our meetings and get to have a say, like immediate say in stuff that we're doing and not doing with the show. We really do value your feedback in that space, and we'd love to see more of you over there. Like I said, either free or paid, either way, we just want you to pull up. And make sure you check out our merch, guys, because I keep saying it. I've been saying it a lot more lately because new designs are coming. And when the new designs come, we're kicking the older designs to the curb. And there's no saying when or if they will be coming back. So make sure you check it out. We got t-shirts and hoodies and tote bags. It's a vibe. And there's more stuff to come pretty soon. We have collabs coming that you definitely don't want to miss. So that's another reason to sign up to the Patreon subscription so that way you get first access to all of those drops because we have a feeling that they're going to go pretty quick. Yeah, if you liked today's episode, make sure that you scroll up or scroll down and check out another one because, you know, we're a vibe most of the time. It's a good time. Watch 2, 3, or 4 more episodes, or you know, don't just let them run in the background because those streams still benefit us. And if you're not a watcher and you prefer to listen, like while you're driving or doing the dishes or something like that, we got you covered because we're definitely a podcast. You can find us wherever you find most podcasts at places like Spotify and that sort of thing. Wherever you listen to your podcast, just search Pink Riot. We're probably over there because Keisha is a wizard and we're in like over 150 podcast places. It's pretty cool. We love a review or a boost in those places as well because the more numbers that we can show in these rooms that we're pushing ourselves into, the more moves we can make and the more content that we can bring you guys. We'd love to see you guys on the other side of that sort of thing. And if you prefer the live vibes where we can key together and you can have your input live on the show, don't worry, we got you because we're here at the same damn place at the same damn time every week because we don't take weeks off because we love you and we love what we do. And so we'll see you next week. Bye.
Later.
I definitely found more. All right, how many variants are there?
11.
Damn. Go ahead. No.